I knew him as Solas. Smart, thoughtful, loved to hear himself talk. But long ago, he had a different name. The Dreadwolf. Ancient elven god of lies, or heroic rebel against tyranny, depending on which story you believe. In his desperate fight against the corrupt elven gods, Solas imprisoned them, creating a veil that split our world from the raw magic of the Fade. He had won. But the veil cost the elves everything. Their magic, their freedom, even their immortality. Now, Solas wants to tear down that veil and undo the damage he caused, even if that means our world has to burn. Somebody's gotta stop him, and that's where you come in. So, where were we? Oh, right. Him. Our best plan is to stop the Dreadwolf before he can perform his ritual. After following his trail across half the known world, we finally tracked him to Minrathous, capital of the Tevinter Imperium. But to find the Dreadwolf in a city this big, we need a local expert. So, naturally, our story begins where all great stories begin. With the seediest bar in town. And a missing contact.
I hope Neve's as good at finding people as you claim.
She's the best damn detective I've ever met. If she says she's got a lead on Solas, I believe her. The Archon's palace. Something must have gotten them riled up.
Should we be in more of a hurry to get out of here?
We don't want to look conspicuous. Just get out of here nice and casual. Find Neve Gallus and stop Solas.
Bless you.
I don't get it. If Solas tears down the veil, doesn't that destroy everything?
Solas always talked about how beautiful the ancient world was.
That world existed before the veil, and he wants to bring it back.
Even if his ritual kills us all in the process.
Appreciate it. Rook, this is Neve Gallus, our local expert. She's gonna help us find Solas. Neve, meet Rook. Harding and I found her a while back. Thought we could use an expert on trouble.
You said you had a lead?
I haven't seen Solas in person, but I did find hints of old magic, similar to what you get in elven ruins.
I traced it to a building beneath Our Lady of Victory. That's where your man is hiding.
Then let's go, before this ritual he's doing gets any worse.
Worse, this ritual's already drawing more power than I'd expect from a dozen mages. You told me he was working alone.
I also told you he was an ancient elven god.
An elven god. Well, whatever he is, he's causing trouble in my city. Let's go.
All citizens in the Canal District must remain in their homes.
So, if we do catch Solas, or the Dreadwolf, whatever he calls himself, what's the plan?
He wants to bring down the veil. Hopefully that ritual takes his full attention.
So we catch him while he's doing his ritual, so he can't fight us.
That's the hope. If it comes to a straight-up fight, we're dead.
So this is the Dreadwolf's hideout.
One of them, at least. Not sure how long he's been here.
Some of this looks ancient.
Solas has been around longer than Minrathous itself.
Broken chains. Solas is freeing slaves.
Solas hates slavery. One of the few things we actually agreed on.
He said the other elven gods were tyrants who oppressed his people. He was trying to help them.
air's full of magic. Solas used a lot of power for something.
Solas, the Dreadwolf, Fen'Harel. He's got a lot of names.
I always called him Chuckles.
This the big glowing window you saw earlier, Rook?
It's called an alluvian. They're elven and very old.
It acts like a doorway from one place to another. Solas uses them to get around quickly.
He must have gone through it.
Quite a few of them, aren't there?
Nothing compared to how many we'll get if Solas finishes his ritual.
How did demon this large get through the veil?
It's a pride demon. Damn thing probably sensed Solas's ego.
Everyone all right?
Good enough. Let's get to Solas.
I'll take it from here.
Are you sure?
Positive. You three just keep the demons off me while I talk to him.
Varric, Solas isn't gonna stop just because an old friend asks nicely.
Solas needs someone to sell him another option, to help him justify changing his mind.
Come on, Varric. We didn't come all this way just to talk to him.
He was my friend, Rook. I've gotta try to reach him. But if he won't listen to me, then he'll hear from Bianca.
More demons!
Rook, take care of the team for me. Hey, Chuckles. Hope I'm not interrupting.
All right. Let's buy him some time.
The veil is a wound inflicted upon this world. It must be healed.
By drowning the world in demons?
I have taken precautions to minimize the damage, Varric.
Minimize the... People are dying right now. You need to listen. Please.
People are always dying. It is what they do.
Why? Why tear down the veil, knowing all the lives it'll cost?
We shared a journey years ago. Do you believe that I would do this if there was some other better option?
The pillar's weak, but it isn't falling. We need to push it. Right. Together. Now!
You came a long way and made a valiant effort, Varric, but this story does not end with my downfall.
Push! Varric! 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 Oh no, no, no! Neve!
Let's go! This way! This way!
You have no idea what you have done.
Solas? I know what I did. I stopped you from destroying the world.
I was not destroying the world. When you disrupted my ritual, the magical energies pulled me here, into the Fade.
Okay, so that's why you're here, but why am I here?
Your physical body is unconscious, but you shed a few drops of blood at the ritual site. Enough for a tenuous connection.
Blood magic?
Firstly, I abhor the use of blood magic. Secondly, had I the power to control you, I would already have used it.
Get out of my head!
As I said,
Out!
I do not want to be here any more than you do. But your actions have set events in motion, and I would not have your ignorance on my conscience.
What are you talking about?
The Evanuris, or as you would call them, the Elven Gods. The creatures that escaped. In ancient times, they ruled the elves, but that was not enough. They sought not just to be obeyed, but to be worshipped. When I rebelled, they drew on the horrific magic of the Blight, corrupting all they saw until I trapped them. Thanks to you, though, I am now trapped, and the blighted Elven Gods walk free.
How am I supposed to trust anything you're saying?
You saw them escape from my prison.
I also saw you bringing down the veil.
I had a plan.
Varric always said you'd have a big explanation for why none of this was your fault.
Varric.
Yeah, he said that's your style. Never quite lies, clever half-truths that let you convince yourself you're doing the right thing. He tried to talk to you anyway, and now he's hurt.
Varric is quite practiced at shading the truth himself.
So those things that got out, you said they were gods?
They said they were gods. Blighted, tyrannical, sadistic gods. It took all my power to imprison them millennia ago, but I am certain you will be fine.
We stopped you. We'll stop them.
I had a ritual dagger of pure lyrium. My network of mirrors could take me from the lighthouse across the world in moments. Right now, you seem to have neither. Do you intend to knock over a statue during their ritual?
Well, I don't intend to take advice from the elven god of lies.
Quite right.
Elgar'nan and Gil'Nan are your problem to solve. This is your responsibility now.
What happened?
Remember how you said that Chuckles wasn't going to listen, Rook? Oh, turns out you were right.
The plan did go a little wrong.
Yeah. Harding got everyone out. By the skin of her teeth, mostly.
Varric, when we stopped the ritual, something else got out. Something even Solas is afraid of.
You've got this, Rook. World's not flooded with demons right now. Because you stopped Solas, not me.
Did you ever find places like this chasing Solas with Varric?
Not exactly. But with Solas, it was always about the Fade, or the Veil, or some other in-between place. Varric always hated it, though. At least this place feels different. Maybe safer?
So, we stopped the ritual.
And Varric paid the price.
Hey, Varric made his choice to go talk with Solas. He knew the risks, we all did.
And now Solas is gone. And we're here. Wherever here is. Besides in the Fade.
Solas called it the Lighthouse.
He did? When?
In my head. Solas showed up while I was out cold to gripe about us breaking his ritual.
He's mad about us destroying his ritual?
Sounded like it. When the ritual went wrong, he ended up trapped in some kind of prison.
You're sure that wasn't just a dream? It's a reasonable reaction.
Solas can speak with people in their dreams. Even kill them.
I'm not in danger. He can only barely reach me. I bled a little when I got knocked out.
So Solas is using blood magic? Like any normal mage would to play with your mind?
But he's not a normal mage, like I told you. He's an elven god.
Putting together a nice ritual doesn't make him a god.
The gods of my people were incredibly powerful. I don't mean they were powerful like a skilled mage. I mean they destroyed entire cities. They shattered mountains. So no, they might not literally be gods, but they're a lot worse than whatever you're thinking.
All right, well, we've stopped the ritual and there doesn't seem to be an immediate danger. For now. You're certain Solas can't use blood magic to affect your mind?
I'm not certain of anything, but we're not out of danger.
What do you mean?
Solas had two of the other elven gods imprisoned. When he got trapped, they escaped.
So those things we saw come out of the Fade when the ritual went wild, those are...
Elgar'nan and Gillinnane, two of the ancient elven gods that Solas rebelled against. They're our next target.
So we set our sights on a pair of elven gods. Like it's easy.
Who else is gonna do it? If they're loose, they need killing.
They were evil tyrants who enslaved their people. We need to stop them.
Solas says Elgar'nan and Gillinnane drew on the Blight for power and became corrupted. That was when he imprisoned them.
So instead of one god running around, we have two. And they're not just powerful, they're blighted.
We need to get out there and stop them.
Just like that. We're down a man without Varric. We can't just rush in.
I know you're hurt, Neve. But the rest of us need to do something.
I'll be ready to fight when it's time, but we need to investigate, then figure out what we're dealing with.
And how many more people will get hurt, get killed, while we spend time investigating?
If Elgar'nan and Gillinnane are worse than Solas, we can't go in blind. We need to know what they can do and what they want.
But we only have Solas's word about all of this.
Then let's go investigate for ourselves. We find out what we're dealing with, and then we take our shot.
Fine. The Alluvian led us here instead of back to Minrathous.
Let's hope it goes back to the ritual site. Maybe we can find some clues at the scene of the crime.
Neve, are you okay to go?
It's a headache. I've worked with worse.
All right then. Let's get back to the ritual site.
The Alluvian has its own special room. It's just down the stairs. Rook, Neve, this is Strife and Irulan. Varric and I met them when we first started hunting down Solas. They're veil jumpers, experts in ancient elven magic.
Hardly experts. I should have been able to shut that artifact down. I'm sorry, Tarith.
It's not your fault. Since the sky ripped open, the magic's been surging. Bunch of artifacts that had been dormant for centuries started coming alive. This is because of Solas's ritual, isn't it? You all were supposed to stop him.
Didn't see you volunteering. We put our lives on the line to stop Solas, and we stopped him.
Not without a cost.
Sky's not ripping itself apart anymore, is it?
All right. You stopped Solas. So why is Arlethan neck deep in wild magic?
Solas was dragged into the Fade when we interrupted his ritual, but something else got out.
Someone else, supposedly. Elgar'nan and Gillenane.
Mithalanast. Two of the elven gods of old. The Evanuris.
Shit. If they're back in the world, that explains a lot.
So Elgar'nan and Gillenane are loose. Which means what?
You thought Solas was bad. He's a bit of a bastard, true. But next to them, let's just say they weren't known for their kindness.
There's a reason Solas led a rebellion against the Evanuris, and a reason he imprisoned them.
But now they've escaped.
As dangerous as Solas himself may be, his imprisonment of the gods was just. To leave them unchecked would have been the very end of Thedas.
Just to be clear, you know your old friend Solas is actually the Dreadwolf?
So I have come to learn. It rather explains how he knew such a great deal of ancient elven history, and why he became so vexed when I attempted to explain it to him. Whilst I cannot claim the same depth of knowledge, the knowledge I do possess is yours for the asking.
I hope it helps. For all we know, the entire world will look like Demetus Crossing once the gods are through.
All this horror because a bunch of power-hungry gods want even more power.
When have the powerful among us ever done otherwise?
So how do we stop them?
Set aside your notions of godhood and see them for the ancient, powerful mages they are. Standing against them shall require serious magic of your own. When you interrupted the Dreadwolf's ritual, did you happen across any of the tools he used?
He had a dagger, but it got lost in the chaos.
Then you would do well to find it. 'Tis better in your hands than those of the gods.
Is there anything else Solas might have had that could help us? We're in his... well, he calls it the Lighthouse.
Ah, yes. The legendary sanctum of the Dreadwolf. 'Tis said his Eluvian, the Viravas, could travel to any other Eluvian of his choosing.
That's not how it works right now. It only goes to Arlethan.
I can take a look at it. Maybe fix it, even. I know Eluvians better than most.
Any help you can offer, we'd appreciate.
Your pet has failed, sister. And now the magic of the Dreadwolf's dagger is hidden from me. Fen Harel meddles once again.
If his dagger's beyond our reach, we must craft another. Made of red lyrium.
Back so soon. It must have been worse than I had thought.
Hello, Dreadwolf.
Ah, but perhaps I am mistaken. You may be here to correct me, to tell me that my concerns were unfounded. You could not possibly be here to take advice from the one you called the Elven God of Lies.
I'm not here to debate whether what you said was accurate.
But to be clear, it was accurate.
I need to know what the gods are planning.
You are asking for knowledge no mortal in this world is privy to.
If I am to share it with you, I need to know what makes you the right person to lead the fight against Elgar'nan and Gil'nan.
I stopped you, didn't I?
You disrupted the ritual.
Yeah, I did. Even though I'm nowhere near as powerful as you.
Your plan is to tell me how powerful you aren't?
Back in the Crows, I had to deal with the Antam invasion. One night, I saw a unit getting ready to transport prisoners to another city. It was way too large for us to hit.
But you did so anyway, using unconventional tactics to confuse the Antam and free the prisoners.
How do you know that?
You helped Varric pursue me for the better part of a year. It would have been foolish not to learn about who was hunting me.
Then you know that powerful opposition doesn't frighten me. I find a way to get the job done, whatever it takes.
I suppose I was not so different when I started.
Started what?
My rebellion against the Evanuris. The elven gods, as you call them. They wish to reclaim their dominion over this world. To accomplish that, they will need two things. First, the Blight. What exists in this world is a bare fragment of its power. The rest is imprisoned, until they release it.
I don't understand. Elgar'nan and Gil'nan were elves like you, right? Why would they want to blight the world?
It is my fault. As the Dread Wolf, I was a thorn in their side. When my efforts weakened their grasp on the elven people, they grew frustrated, then desperate.
And turned to the Blight.
Once the corruption took hold of them, they were blind to its horror. It was just another source of power for them. Now they would blight the world without hesitation, and call us backward and foolish for opposing them.
The Blight didn't escape with the gods?
Elgar'nan and Gil'nan escaped largely empty-handed, fortunately. Most of the Blight is still trapped in the prison I created ages ago.
So what we saw at the village, that's them not at full strength?
Correct.
The rest of the Blight is imprisoned? There's more than what's in the world already?
Yes. Centuries ago, the Magisters of Tevinter opened my prison. A tiny fragment of the Blight escaped. That fragment grew beneath the earth and led to the Blights that have swept across the world. However terrible the Blight is now, it is a mere fraction of what we will see if its full power is unleashed.
Then we shut down whatever they need to do to free the Blight.
They will need to pierce the veil to reach the Blight's prison. My lyrium dagger is one of the few artifacts capable of doing so.
We've already recovered it from the ritual site.
Excellent. Then they will have to make their own. That will give you time.
You said the gods needed two things, and the Blight is the first? What's the second?
Followers. They have called themselves gods. And what is a god without worshippers to sing their praises?
I'm not gonna bend a knee to blighted, murdering monsters just because their ears are pointed like mine. I don't think many other elves are going to either.
Agreed. Elgar'nan and Gil'nan care little for the elves. They will find worshippers among those hungry for power. Tyrants and bullies. The cruel and the corrupt, who fear their own vulnerability and seize any chance to feel strong. If you hunt them, they will lead you to Elgar'nan and Gil'nan.
Thank you. I'll go poke at the cruel and corrupt, and we'll see what we find.
The Veravas, the lighthouse Soluvian, can take you anywhere, if you master its secrets. Have you done so?
Not yet, but we've got one of the Veil Jumpers working on it. She'll get it sorted, and we'll see how it goes.
Yes. I suppose we will. And when you speak with Varric, please tell him that I regret what happened.
So Solas told the truth about the gods.
You heard? It's bad, Varric. If you'd seen Demeter's crossing.
The team needs to act fast. And it can't do that with me leading from a bed. You've got to take point on this. On the best day of his life, Solas wouldn't see you coming, Rook. And don't worry. I'll still be here to talk if you need me.
There is something. Did Neve tell you about me talking to Solas and the Fade?
I had some good arguments with Chuckles back in the day. I can't imagine being stuck with him in my head. But how are you feeling about it?
He's the god of lies and he's inside my head, Varric. How do you think I feel about that?
Fair enough. But Neve's a great mage. If you need her to whip up a ward to keep him out of your mind, she can. But you haven't asked her to. Why not?
Solas is our best source of information about these elven gods. We can't stop them without what he knows.
So you're making the decision to keep talking with him?
Yeah.
You're making a choice. Stay careful, stay worried, but don't beat yourself up about doing what you have to do.
He also asked me to tell you that he regrets what happened. Hurting you, I mean.
Chuckles is sentimental. He could burn the world down, and the thing that would make him cry is a single flower with blackened petals.
When last we spoke, you intended to assault the cruel and the corrupt, in hopes of finding servants of Elgar'nan and Elgar'nan. Has your search been successful?
You could say that. It looks like both the Venatori and the Anton are working for Elgar'nan and Elgar'nan.
Unsurprising. The Venatori want magical secrets, and the Anton want to destroy anyone opposing their brutal expansion. Both will readily bow to anyone who promises them power.
And now, we've seen that power firsthand. The Anton and the Venatori both have dragons doing their bidding.
Dragons? That is worse than I had feared.
Yeah. We drove off the one the Anton brought to Treviso. Barely.
Have you determined how the dragons are being directed? If it is blood magic, it may be possible to disrupt their control.
The dragons were blighted. We think that's what let the gods control them.
The blood. Of course.
The blight seems to be the gods' favored tool right now. We ran into Venatori who could control Darkspawn.
Elgar'nan would not bestow such power unless the Darkspawn were to serve as the main force of his army. And I suspect Elgar'nan will see the Darkspawn as new subjects for her modifications.
We've already run into a few Darkspawn nobody has seen before. That's in addition to the blighted dragons.
That is the fate Elgar'nan and Elgar'nan planned for this world then. Corruption and blighted slavery.
Right. Everyone should be free and uncorrupted when your demons and raw magic kill them.
Do you truly believe my goal was to destroy this world?
I believe your goal, like you said, was to transfer the gods to a better prison, the one you're stuck in now. And you were willing to tear down the Veil and destroy this world while you did so.
The Veil is a wound I cut into the Fade in a moment of desperation, while making their prison. It should not exist. I had a host of spirits ready to help when the Veil fell. They would have minimized the loss of life.
Do you have any idea what you sound like? You could have actually saved the world from the Blight, but instead, you chose to kill thousands of people with your vanity project.
It is not vanity. I broke this world. I am the only one who can fix it.
Spoken like a god.
I am not a god. I am, as I have always been, a man, all too aware of his failings. But equally aware that if he did not act, accepting the judgment it would bring, all would be lost. They call me the Dread Wolf. What will they call you when this is over?
I don't care what they call me. If they're calling me anything, it means they're still alive. That's all that matters.
Acceptance. You are willing to face the consequences your actions may one day bring because the world needs you. I believe I can work with that. If the gods are using dragons, you will wish to find someone trained to fight them. Have you unlocked the Lighthouse Illuvian?
Yes, we found the crossroads. It's still confusing, though.
I cannot help you from in here. You may need to find an expert in the magic of the Fade. And if the Darkspawn are to be Elgar'nan's army, you will need Grey Wardens to fight them.
I've got a few of them. Their leaders don't trust me right now, though.
I have faith in you, Rook. You seem to have a knack for gaining the cooperation of your adversaries.
Hang on a minute. Not only have you retained the services of a demon assassin, you're also taking advice from the elven god who attempted to tear down the Veil.
Spite is my problem.
That's what they always say. Rook, Lucanis is one thing, but do you really trust this Solas?
Of course I don't trust him. He's the only option we have. If it makes you feel better, we've checked every piece of information he gave us.
That does make me feel better.
Glad you made it here safely. I didn't love our odds without you.
Who, me?
All right. Everything's in place. We hit Elgar'nan's island fortress tonight. This is our best chance to free the people he's enslaved. Get in, save as many as you can, and bring them back here to Sanctuary. Be fast and be safe. I'll meet you on the other side. Fen-Haral's scouting ahead. For freedom! For the Dread Wolf!
So, the Dread Wolf is testing his noble rebels against my stronghold. How courageous.
Those memories can hurt you. Take them down. More of Solas's memories. Elgar'nan sent his guards to attack the Dreadwolf's rebels.
The bastard! I hope Solas won that fight.
You persist for naught. The people under my rule are not yours to plunder.
Glad to see we all made it. Elgar'nan's forces are making things interesting.
You, keep moving no matter what. Free those slaves. We'll take everyone else and give the guards something to think about.
We must be swift. Elgar'nan is coming.
Solas sounded frightened.
Fear makes powerful memories.
Quickly! Get us out of here!
Locked tight, and no sign of a key.
This is all Fade logic. There's gotta be a way through.
Thank you all.
There's an alluvion nearby. We'll head there right away.
Go. The Dreadwolf must be waiting for you.
Quickly! Elgar'nan approaches.
Stop his guards. We need to buy time for the captives to get to safety.
I will hold off Elgar'nan himself, for as long as I am able.
The vermin keep coming. Go. I will deal with that ragged wolf. There will be a reckoning for this Solas, no matter how far you run.
Let the big asshole rant. Everyone we freed is safe in the crossroads.
Without all of you, well, thank you. But can Elgar'nan find us here?
He cannot. I have made sure of...
Solas?
Elgar'nan is a powerful opponent. My apologies. It is of no consequence. What matters, my friends, is that today all of us are free.
I think that's it. The memory ends here.
It's so strange seeing Solas back when he was a hero.
But it did not last.
His memories seem to condense into that statuette. There must be more to this.
You cannot do this, Elgar'nan. You swore that we would give up our commands when this horrific war was over.
Our people need our leadership. If you're unwilling, leave.
Our people must rebuild, and we must help unite them.
So, we did not fight for freedom, but to conquer this land and our own.
We fought to win, and now the Evanuris are as gods. I do not answer to Mythal's annoying lapdog.
The people are afraid. They must believe in something.
They need strength.
And wisdom.
They need gods who can protect them.
We are not gods. You will learn that.
Every lapdog hides a wolf inside.
That was strange. They were speaking Elven, but I understood it.
I believe we have experienced a memory in each of our native languages.
Not just any memory. One of the Dreadwolves.
And the mages who declared themselves my gods? Well, mine and Davrin's, and Rook's.
They're not gods at all, much less my gods.
I'm with Rook.
All right. What else can we take from this memory?
Elgar'nan was hungry for power. Did anything he could to get it, and to hold on to it.
Then Solas, furious at Elgar'nan's installing himself as a despot, started his rebellion.
There's another moving part in this. Mythal. She was keeping the peace.
Mythal and Solas were close. The Inquisition found a temple to Mythal, and there were wolf statues everywhere.
Then she sides with Elgar'nan over him. A betrayal.
It sounded like Solas was loyal to Mythal. What did Elgar'nan call him? Mythal's lapdog? And then she grabs power alongside Elgar'nan instead of standing for her principles. I'd be angry too.
Angry enough to start a rebellion?
That's not how he'd see it. He didn't destroy the world. Elgar'nan did. Solas did what he considered necessary to stop him.
Solas would try to justify what he did, but he'd also blame himself for what happened.
Perhaps these murals aren't simply memories. They're what Solas wishes to forget.
His regrets. That means they're a way to learn his weak points.
Why are we worried about Solas? He's trapped.
Right. But the Dreadwolf was the god of trickery. He's looking for a way out. Bet on it.
Meanwhile, keep your eyes open in the crossroads. If there's a way to restore the rest of these murals, Solas would have kept it in his hideaway. It'd be nice to get inside his head for a change.
Untold years asleep, only to see our sanctums defiled. Even Arlathan is trampled by cast-offs and mortals. We must secure the Alluvians.
We shall. The Ontom are uneasy in the crossroads, but they know their duty.
If they fail, give the best preserve to me for improvement.
Dead on, Tom. We're already on it. Do you miss it? The Inquisition, I mean.
It's hard to miss an organization. They're only as good as their people, don't you think? But I do miss my friends. We write each other, but it's not the same. And the Inquisition is different from what we've built here. Not better or worse, just different. It's special when you're among people working toward the same goal.
Not everyone. There was Solas. What did you really think of him back then?
Lonely. He always seemed lonely. It's hard not to be when you hold yourself above everyone else.
As smart as he's supposed to be, there's just some things he doesn't get. At all.
Yeah. Maybe one day he will. Maybe. If you help him. Anyway, I'm sure something out there's on fire, and here I am rambling about the past. I should let you go. Talk later?
The Inquisitor did not come all this way to leave you with empty words, however. She brought something no one else could.
A wolf statuette. We've found others like it in the crossroads. Where'd you find yours?
I found it right around the time Solas's ritual failed, when he was pulled into the Fade. We've examined the magic, and it's tied to the Veil. To him. Somehow.
Solas is ancient, and his magic is part of him in a way far beyond that of mortals. I suggest you take it to the crossroads and see if something in the lighthouse calls to it. Perhaps it will yield some insight into your new ally.
Solas is trapped in the Fade. He's not my biggest concern at the moment.
Solas is trapped in your dreams, and while he cannot match Elgar'nan or Gillenane in strength, he is far more cunning. He is the Dreadwolf. He led a rebellion that lasted centuries. How many times do you think the gods thought him trapped and helpless?
Solas was important to me. If this statuette helps you understand him, if it uncovers something that... Honestly, I don't know. I wish I did. But this feels like a part of him. And whatever he and I once were, I think... I hope... it might help you.
We should go, Inquisitor. The armies in the south need you.
Right. Harding, stay sharp. You're my eyes in the north.
Always, Inquisitor.
Rook, good luck. If I come across anything else that can help, you'll be the first to know.
Thank you.
I was not certain you would come.
You were the one who walked away. I never turn my back when my friend needs me.
The Evanuris seek the magic of the Blight.
Impossible. The Blight is safely sealed away forever.
Though I wish I could believe you. I have sensed the breaking of the wards.
I will investigate your claims. If they forget the danger of the Blight, I will endeavor to remind them.
What if, instead, you left the Evanuris and remained with me? Do you not wish for freedom from this struggle?
Be at peace, love. I will stop them.
As you must. The Blight is our mistake.
Did Mythal call Solas love in that memory?
That's what it sounded like.
So they were doing it.
The elven gods were free with their emotions. They felt things deeply. The way they expressed things, well, it feels romantic to us, but that wasn't really how it was. Back then, I mean.
Nah, they were doing it.
As someone who has Solas talking in my dreams, I'm with Bellara. I just can't see Solas carrying on a secret affair with Mythal.
Can't because you don't think he would? Or can't because you don't want to think about it while he's in your head?
Yes.
So the Dreadwolf goes to Mythal. They might be fighting, but they have history.
And he warns her about the other gods using the Blight. That's more important than his rebellion. It's like kingdoms coming together when an archdemon rises.
Mythal didn't think it was possible. She said the Blight was sealed away. There's an old legend about it. Davrin, the one with Andrul's armor. Not sure it matters.
We're deep in elven lore already. What's the legend say?
Right. Well, Andrul was the goddess of the hunt. She put on armor, magic armor, made us something called the Void, drove her mad.
I remember this one. The other gods were afraid Andrul would turn on them. She was doing all kinds of horrible things, causing plagues. It does sound like the Blight.
Well, it all ends with Mythal fighting Andrul. After, Mythal turned into a dragon.
She what? Why didn't you start with that?
Anyway, she took Andrul's armor away. Then Andrul's madness left, and peace returned.
Intriguing. So it's possible Andrul stumbled onto the magic of the Blight.
And when Andrul went mad, Mythal took it from her and locked it away.
Until someone started using it again.
The Blight's one of the only things that really scares Solas. He came to Mythal afraid.
And she took it seriously too.
So Mythal goes off to investigate what Solas says. Then, what? It's too clean.
Seems plenty messy with them doing it.
But this isn't just a memory. It's something Solas wanted to hide. What's the crime? What did we see here that he feels guilty about?
I think I might know. When the Inquisitor was saving the world from the breach, she met Mythal.
What? Like in a dream?
It was complicated. She helped the Inquisition. There was a magic pond and a dragon.
Nice.
The point is, she also said the other elven gods betrayed her, killed her.
Okay, sorry, point of order. If they killed Mythal, how was she still around to help the Inquisition?
Elven god magic? She'd spent centuries gathering strength and sharing people's bodies, I think.
If it was a truly benign possession, that speaks to her character.
So there's the shame Solas wanted to erase. He blames himself for Mythal's murder.
Well, it's not just that she died.
What do you mean, Tosh?
It's... Ugh. There was stuff he wanted to tell her, but he waited too long, and then she was dead. He never got to make it right. That twists you up.
That's it. There's our crime.
Doesn't really tell us anything we can use, though.
We know more than we did. That's something.
Then I guess we keep our eyes open if we come across more of these memories.
What of your dreams?
A discordant refrain and shadows, nothing more.
In our prison, there was more. I dreamed the songs of the living abyss. And now, masked eyes across the sea. A storm that drinks the sky.
The future is intangible. Only the past and the present matter.
Another ancient elf.
You're awake. How's your head? The guards really knocked you about.
Well, it's...
Do you remember our mission? Gillenaine's lab. The wolf sent us to infiltrate her testing grounds. Things didn't go perfectly to plan, but the wolf smuggled in help. A key. If you can fight, grab the key and we'll run for it. Just be ready for whatever the witch has in store.
She thinks I'm one of Solas's agents.
Ah, freedom. We'll move faster if we split up. See you ahead.
Blight. Be careful.
It feels older here. More primal.
So Gillenane was experimenting with Blight and Darkspawn. Blight infested her lab. The memory's not over. We need to fight our way out of here before Gillenane finds us.
Wolf, you came for us. Your key was enough.
This unnatural corruption demanded my personal attention. It is strong. It has already blocked the escape route I had planned. We will need another way to the surface.
Let's all split up and find it.
I will destroy what corruption I can. You must cut through these monstrosities before Gillenane unleashes something worse.
Solas sounded rattled.
The Blight shook him up.
You see boundless creation and choose to destroy it? Learn respect for the life that will succeed you.
She's using the testing grounds against us. Time to go.
Free! And faster than anticipated. Perhaps you and your allies warrant more study.
I think we broke through to Gillenane's prized specimens.
These Darkspawn may be an old memory, but they look familiar. I wonder...
Maybe the Darkspawn we've been seeing aren't new. Maybe they're old.
Here, the blessing you denied.
Wolf, help me! Ah!
Damn! Gillenane got her.
You would unleash a blight on this world and call it a masterwork! You! Who are the most sensitive of us!
All that I am belongs to the pursuit of creation. You chose to constrain yourself. I must climb to the heights only understood by gods. I go now to join them.
Wolf, you are greater than any of them. Please, help me.
Come on. Be the god she needs. Help her.
I am so sorry I failed you. There is only one way I can help you now.
Wolf.
This place and the corruption within it must be eradicated. No trace can be allowed to spread. Go. Your work here is done. There is no need for you to witness what I must do.
It's over. Solas destroyed the lab, the blight that was here, and his agent.
Not every death is kind, but to betray loyalty, a man like that must be watched closely.
This fragment might tell us more.
You dare to try to cage us, jealous of our growing power!
You will pay the final price for this betrayal.
We warned you not to use the blight. For this, and for Mathol, I sentence you to sleep in exile ever after. Your own lives will form the veil that keeps the horror you unleashed at bay.
So he locked the gods away and created a veil between this world and the Fade. I mean, they were terrible, no question. But what he did, it didn't just stop them. It destroyed our culture, our world.
It wasn't just to stop them. It was to stop the Blight. We've seen how bad Elgar'nan and Gillenane are. Imagine all 7 corrupted gods running wild.
So he created the Veil just to keep the elven gods locked in their prison?
Yes, to keep them from accessing the Fade, but was the creation of the Veil around the world an accident?
You heard him yelling. That's not the sound of a ritual going right.
What do you think, Rook?
I think this memory's one we understand, at least. What he did makes sense. Him regretting it also makes sense.
I had another question, and I'm sorry, maybe this doesn't matter, but Solas trapped the blighted gods in an ancient elven building, right?
That's what it looks like. Maybe a palace? Fancier than what I've seen in Arlathan, at least.
And then, the Magisters were lured into the Fade. They broke in, which let the Blight escape, and turned the Golden City black.
Right, and the Black City hangs in the Fade, a little reminder of their mistakes. What's wrong, Lace?
It's just... the Chant of Light says that the Maker built for them the Golden City, the center of all creation. But if the Golden City was an ancient elven palace, then the Maker didn't build it. The elves did. The Chant of Light is Andraste's visions from the Maker, but it sounds like it's wrong.
You're asking if we just disproved the entire Andrastian faith.
Did we?
Lace, I don't think you'll ever fully know whether the Chant of Light is literally true or not. What matters is that, in its better moments, the Chantry encourages people to be kind and help each other.
What do we tell the Chantry about this? Do we tell them about this?
People are already questioning because of Elgar'nan and Gillenane. It hasn't stopped them believing.
I guess people need that comfort. Even if some parts of it aren't totally true.
The Dalish clans are struggling with the same thing. What do we keep? What do we lose?
The Elven Gods, the Maker. No matter who you light a candle to, you've got some hard questions to ask yourself right now.
Doctrine is not the truth. It is one of many paths to the truth.
I recognize the sentiment, though not the specific quote. Who said that?
My mother.
Ah. Questions of faith aside, we have some very real gods that still need killing.
Looks like there are 3 more of these murals with the Dreadwolf's old memories. Wonder what else he's hiding.
How fares your battle?
The gods are moving against Weishaupt and the Grey Wardens. We've heard rumors the Darkspawn are being led by an archdemon.
And you have questions?
I need to know how archdemons relate to the gods. Are they just like the blighted dragons, or are they something else? I also need to know how to deal with the gods if they show up at Weishaupt.
I propose a bargain. I will answer your question if you answer mine.
What?
How are the Grey Wardens? Do they understand the truth of the danger yet?
We've been through this already. You agreed to help me.
What did you think my help would look like, Rook? I need to know that you are prepared.
No. The First Warden still refuses to listen.
As I feared.
I tried diplomacy. I tried being firm. Nothing worked.
When I asked you why you should be trusted to lead the fight, you said you were no stranger to fighting stronger opponents. That sufficed for me. But the Grey Wardens fight Darkspawn and Archdemons, foes no one else can stand against. They see themselves as the best prepared for this battle. You cannot defeat Elgar'nan and Gillenane without the Wardens. What will you do to bring them to your side?
I don't have to convince all of them. I just have to convince the First Warden.
Or remove him.
Enjoyable as that is to imagine, I doubt the rest of the Wardens would approve.
Did you know the Evanuris once numbered many more than those whose names survive in the Elven Pantheon? One warlord was particularly cruel. I sought to free his slaves, but so fearsome was his reputation that none would join me.
What did you do?
I made people laugh at him.
How did that help?
For 12 years. Every sound near him, from whispered pleas to shouted oaths to crackling fire, all became mocking laughter. His mind broke under the ridicule, and when he fell, his slaves rose up and joined me.
I doubt laughter is going to work on the First Warden.
If not that, then what?
Whatever it takes.
Easily said, but it will have to be enough for now. You have answered my question, and I owe you an answer in return.
Yes. The old gods of Tevinter, the archdemons.
There never were Tevinter gods. The archdemons, as you call them, were always merely the weapons of the Evanuris.
Alright. Let's hope we can find the gods before they find their weapons.
Unfortunately, the Dragon Thrall's life force is bound to the Evanuris as both power and protection. You will not be able to kill or likely even harm one of the Evanuris until their Dragon Thrall is slain.
The old stories of the Tevinter gods have them whispering in the dreams of ancient magisters. How did they do that, if they were just tools of the elven gods?
The archdemons were once high dragons. The Evanuris bound them as a source of power. When I imprisoned the gods, their dragons remained free. That was my mistake.
How so?
I never bound a dragon to myself, for I believed that to enslave another creature was immoral. As such, I did not understand the power that connection gave. I thought the prison I had made was perfect. But their dragons were the conduit through which they spoke to dreaming minds.
What can you tell me about the archdemons themselves?
Each is different, shaped by the whims and ego of its master. Elgar'nan is the Lord of Tyranny. He would have ruled alone had Nathor not forced him to share power. Those who are strong, he molds into dictators themselves, with visions of godhood. Those who are weak, he crushes. His archdemon reflects him. It is huge, to feed his ego, the epitome of dragonkind, bent to his will.
Damn. Tell me what you really think of the guy.
He is cruelty and arrogance personified. All of the Evanuris were flawed, but he made all of them worse. By contrast, Gillinan was a servant of Andrul, whose skill at making monsters earned her promotion to the Evanuris. She is brilliant, ambitious, and unconstrained by anything you would understand as morality. In a kinder world, you would never need to see what she has done to her archdemon. In this world, I only hope you kill it quickly. In any event, the Evanuris will not be vulnerable until their archdemons are dead.
Any other surprises we should know about?
Even with their dragons dead, the Evanuris are powerful and well protected. You will need to use my dagger, the one you recovered. It can pierce their enchantments and strike them down.
All right. Kill the archdemons, then use the dagger to take down the gods.
Even a single opportunity to strike the Evanuris down will be rare, fleeting, and costly. You will not have another chance to catch them unawares. When you strike, you must be fully prepared. The fall of Weishaupt reverberated across the Fade, as did the fall of an archdemon. But unless I am mistaken, both Elgar'nan and Gillinan yet stand.
We took down Gillinan's archdemon, but we weren't able to kill her.
And how are you doing?
Honestly, Weishaupt shook me.
You saw the Venatori seize control of Minrathous. What makes Weishaupt harder to bear?
It adds up. Demeter's Crossing, the attacks on Minrathous and Treviso. Every time it's been worse. More terrible magic, more good people killed. And it's only gonna get worse until I find a way to stop them.
Rook, I led a rebellion against Elgar'nan for 100 of your lifetimes. I have been where you now stand. Do you know how many times I had to order my rebels to retreat when we were outmatched in raw power? You rendered Gillinan mortal and escaped with your lives. The sting of wishing you had done more will push you to improve. But Weishaupt was a victory, and your team will see your passion, even if you must conceal the extent of your own pain. How are your companions, after what happened?
They've spent a lot of time yelling at each other. Or me.
Not the worst outcome, all things considered. Properly focused, that anger can forge your team into a weapon keen enough to cut through any obstacle. You cannot stand against Elgar'nan and Gillinan with logic. Those motivated by greed or self-interest will change alliances, but those who serve you with passion and loyalty will follow wherever you lead, even to their deaths if necessary.
I'm not planning to order anyone to their deaths.
If you gain their loyalty, they will need no orders. They will volunteer.
I can't build these people up knowing I might have to send them to their deaths. There's always another option.
Perhaps you are right. Building your team is the best way to minimize the chance of such an order becoming necessary.
I'll keep that in mind. Do you have any suggestions on our next move against the gods?
If you oppose Elgar'nan and Gilnean's minions, you will get your opportunity.
You think one of the Armour Venatori commanders will help us find the gods?
Possibly. But more importantly, you will aggravate them. You rendered Gilnean mortal at Weishaupt. It is an embarrassment, an insult, neither she nor Elgar'nan can ignore. If you continue to disrupt their plans, you will not need to track them down. They will come to you.
I'll be ready.
One final warning. You have survived a confrontation with Gilnean, which few still live to claim. But her power pales in comparison to Elgar'nan's. If he takes the field himself, remember, in a fight such as ours, escaping to fight another day is a victory.
You have so long observed the world. Why not consider joining it?
But I have no desire to live as humans. I have the Fade. Besides, there's talk of taking on a solid form. I think you underestimate the danger. When you took the glowing stone to build your body, did the earth not shake?
Valyrium gives us the strength we had when we were of the Fade. We are the best of physical and spirit. I need your wisdom, Solas. To withstand the louder voices who would go too far like Elgar'nan. I need you.
This is madness. You must know that. I will always follow where you go.
What?
This is astounding. The ancient elves were spirits who voluntarily manifested a physical form.
I'd rather go back to talking about the Blight.
Hey, Lucanis. Could Spite turn into an elf?
No.
Sorry, but... what?
As world-shaking revelations go, finding out we came from spirits is kind of fun.
Really?
Actually, a whole lot of things make more sense now. Like why some magic works differently for elves than everyone else.
And we wouldn't have that magic if not for this.
The knowledge that an entire people were formed from a mass manifestation could change our entire understanding of magic.
If we let it out, is that the right call? Do you want bigoted humans yelling about how elves are demons?
Davra's got a point. World's not short on small-minded humans.
The entire idea is preposterous. Who would even believe us?
It does seem outlandish when taken out of context, I admit.
We have to tell someone, though. Strife and Ireland, at least.
If I told Teia and Viago, they'd think I was sampling Viago's poison collection. No one will believe us.
Okay. We keep this to people we trust who have good reason to know. No shouting it from the rooftops.
Agreed. The Morn Watch has a great deal of experience keeping dangerous secrets.
So, beyond the world-shaking stuff, what else did we learn here? Solas himself was a spirit.
What kind do you think he was?
Well, his name is Elven for pride.
Oh, okay.
There's something else. Not about spirits, or not all about them at least. Solas didn't want to become a person with a physical body.
Right. He only agreed after Mythal begged him.
Then that's his regret. He wishes he'd never taken physical form.
Maybe, but not just that. Solas was scared. They built their bodies out of lyrium, and it made the ground shake.
Lyrium is the blood of the Titans.
The Titans would have felt it as an attack. They defended themselves.
The first memory we saw with Elgar'nan seizing power, it happened at the end of a war.
A war between the Titans and the elves.
Lace, I'm so sorry.
It feels like we still don't have the full picture. But I think that's part of what Solas regrets. He didn't see the danger.
Except he did. He was worried, you said it yourself.
He did it for Mythal. Everything that followed, he could have prevented, if he just told her no.
And he's got a war on his conscience. Plus, whatever we find next. Over there. Another entryway, like the one that took us to that Solas memory. There. It's happening again. We're in another of Solas's memories. Remember last time? The past really can still hurt you.
Andaran Atishan, Lassa Gilan.
Spirits, Fade friends, come forth. Enter the circle. Reveal yourselves.
Solas. Whatever happened in this memory, he was personally involved.
Spirits, the Dread Wolf asks for your assistance on a crucial mission.
The false gods, the Evanuris, have overreached. I shall humble them. Within their citadel lies a relic, with the power to imprison even a god. With it, I can bring their tyranny to an end, forever.
You are spirits of chaos, disorder, and disruption. We ask you to disrupt the Citadel's defenses. Give us the opening to get that relic. For freedom!
More visions of the past. Solas sent these spirits out to fight the gods. If we're spirits of disruption, let's act like it.
Oh, I think I'll be good at that.
Spirits! How did the wolf call up so many? Remember, they can hurt us. Stay sharp. Okay. We're through.
The gods told us his fortress couldn't be breached!
That's the last of them. We're almost through to their citadel, and the Evanuris know it.
They've changed their plans. Elgar'nan may be a tyrant, but he is not a fool. That means the relic is genuine. We are close, and Elgar'nan is afraid. Put our strongest in the vanguard. Prepare to breach the citadel. It will not be easy, but we shall win the day.
Disruption, lead the charge and do what you do best. Whatever champions the gods send against you, bring them down.
More of them.
Death to all tyrants! You must hold fast!
Reinforcements! We need more reinforcements!
For victory!
The gods send aid! This is as far as you go!
Disruption fought to the last, and it was all for nothing. We couldn't take the Citadel.
Wait, that body's me.
It was not for nothing, my friend. The distraction the spirits gave us allowed our agents to retrieve the relic.
Distraction?
No force could have breached their citadel. But it was necessary for the enemy to believe we were committed. A heavy sacrifice. But one that gave us a real chance to end the war.
You knowingly sent all those spirits to their deaths? Solas! We're supposed to be better than that!
They died true to their nature, doing what they loved, Felassan. Let that be a comfort, that this war did not corrupt them into something different from what they were supposed to be.
A ruse. That's all it was. By this point, Solas didn't care who he sacrificed if it meant stopping the Evanuris.
I doubt it was the last time he did so either.
Let's see what this fragment can tell us.
Have you created what we need?
With this, the proper ritual will sunder every titan from its spirit. But you must know those severed dreams will certainly be driven mad. A disembodied blight of pain and anger. It is awful what we're doing.
And the only way to end this war.
Solas made the weapon that killed the Titans. No, not killed. He cut away their dreams and left them broken and mindless. Dwarves don't even know where they come from because of him. And he knew, all along.
I don't know what to say, Lace. I can't even imagine. I'm so sorry.
I served in the Inquisition. I know terrible things happen in war. But to do something like this...
The Titans were the size of mountains. I doubt the elves were winning their fight. He considered this the cost of saving his people.
Fear and guilt make people do stupid things.
To do such a thing. No wonder regret eats away at Solas.
No, it's worse than that. That isn't what Solas regrets. Those severed dreams will be driven mad. A disembodied blight of pain and anger.
Mierda.
You can't. That's not possible.
When a warden hears the calling, it's like a song in their mind. Sound familiar to you, Lace?
The song of Lyrium. Of the Titans.
We think of the Blight as this monstrous force with no mercy, no compassion. Evil incarnate. Instead, it's a caged animal. Mistreated and imprisoned for centuries. Until all it knows is fear.
What does this mean for Darkspawn? Should we be trying to help them?
I don't believe so. If the Blight is a corrupted dream, Darkspawn may be mindless manifestations of its anger.
Right. They're not people. We're never going to get through to them.
The Titans are a problem for later. We have Elgar'nan and Gillinan to deal with now.
And then I want Solas to look me in the eye and answer for what he did.
Each of these memories has been a deeper regret, and almost all of them involve Mythal.
Only one mural left to uncover by my count. If we find it, we'll see what's worse than this. What about Solas? I'd be angry at him.
It's strange. I don't hate Solas for this, even though a part of me thinks I should. I don't even want revenge. Revenge won't bring the Titans back. It can't erase what happened. And the Inquisitor thinks Solas can be saved. And I want to try. But I just want to talk. As equals. I wonder if he's even capable. In the Titan's heart, the Shade wasn't just angry. She was lost, and lonely, and confused. Solas didn't just separate us from the Fade. He separated us from each other. I wish I could make him understand what that feels like. Anyway, thanks for checking on me. I'll be all right.
delays, so much more could be accomplished from the then Fenaras. Solas raised that beacon in mockery of my own tower of learning. The disrespect.
Do not dwell upon it, Elgar'nan. The lighthouse is but one wonder we shall reclaim.
It will be remade, and all traces of Fen Harel erased from its walls.
Hey, Rook. There's a complete collection of Randy Dowager quarterlies here. I see Juggles in a new light now.
You know, I think about Solas sometimes. He's been trapped by his mistakes for eons. When you're blinded by sorrow and pain, you need someone to help you past it. But he's too proud for that. He believes he's alone, even when he doesn't have to be.
He'll never ask for help, but that doesn't mean we can't offer it anyway. But do you think he can be helped?
Solas took this path because he thinks he has no choice. But the Inquisitor believes there is another way for him. For them. She could save him, if he would just let her. No one's beyond help, Rook. No one. I have to believe it. Or none of this matters.
Rook, can you hear me?
Solas?
Something's wrong.
I thought I just heard Solas.
You are correct. Elgar'nan's magic has thinned the veil, allowing me to speak to you directly.
I heard him again. Tell me one of you heard that.
Heard what?
I fear we lack the time for explanation. If you can rescue the elves, Elgar'nan is mine to face.
What do you mean?
Elgar'nan! Lavellan! Ma banal Evanuris! Masalin Argalana!
I see what you mean. Let's keep moving. Solas is gonna distract Elgar'nan.
Fen Harel, you have no power here!
Whoever that is sure got his attention.
As long as it keeps him off us.
So, the Dread Wolf has arrived to defend his pawn.
Your cruelty forced my hand.
100 generations and still the same refrain.
Again, you have caged our people, and again I will set them free.
But you are always stubborn, Fen Harel. Insubordinate, unmanageable, even by Middle's reckoning.
You have lost the right to speak her name.
Avalas ban, Shevgar Fen Harel.
The only reason Mithal joined you was that she knew the monster you would become if left unchecked. She thought to temper your brutish ego. Instead, you betrayed her, murdered her.
Only the first time, Dread Wolf.
Are you all right?
I can hear them in my head. We can do this. We have to do this.
Your struggle is pointless, and your faith in the Dread Wolf is misplaced. Give up. Save yourself. Save your friends.
I can see the way through. I think Solas's distraction is working. I think this is it. I think we're through.
You should be near where you need to be. With luck,
You can still save the elves.
The elves! They belong to Elgar'nan!
The cruelty is nothing new. But what has happened to the vaunted brilliant mind of Elgar'nan the Mighty? The blight has left you blunt and slow. A monster, not a mastermind. You used to be a challenging opponent.
You saw me as an opponent. To me, you were an irritation, a fly buzzing ceaselessly.
I must speak to you in this tongue. It seems Elven is beyond your grasp.
As much as freedom is beyond yours.
Rook? Rook!
What? Were you talking to me? Sorry, they're very loud.
Get them! Kill them! We cannot bear Lord Elgar'nan.
Once the Blight is free, it will rule this world, and you will be its attack dog. You will burn this world at its command, as Andruil did at yours. You will leave only ruin behind you.
This world is ruined already. Your veil destroyed it.
You could heal it. You have the strength to repair the damage without using the Blight.
Save your gaze for the mortal's dread wolf. The Blight is my blade, and it will take more than your tricks to get me to lay it down.
The Dalish prisoners escaped safely?
We got them away free and clear.
Good. I do not know how you have found your dealings with the Dalish. Whatever my frustrations with them, it was a privilege to be able to help our people again. Thank you for allowing me to help. Chance to infuriate Elgar'nan was a reminder of simpler times.
You said you found the Dalish frustrating. Why is that?
It is unfair to them. I lived for thousands of years, and after I imprisoned the Evanuris, I slept for thousands more. I awoke in a world that had forgotten the ancient times almost entirely. And those who tried to remember Elven history, like the Dalish, had gotten so much wrong.
Like the terrible trickster Fen'Harel who sealed away the gods?
There was truth to their stories. My rebellion had indeed disrupted the lives of those who had been comfortable. And when I created the Veil, I destroyed an empire. Their judgments were fair, if clouded. I tried to explain the truth to one clan. When I convinced them that I was truly Fen'Harel, they attacked me. After that, I hid my explanations behind the facade of having witnessed events in the Fade.
And the Fade is the realm of dreams. Hard to present that as evidence.
Yes. The Dalish had no reason to believe me. I could only watch as they continued to worship Elgar'nan, though we may have seen the last of that tradition, at least.
You and Elgar'nan were really tearing into one another back there.
I needed to goad him to anger in order to distract him. But yes, while all of the Evanuris were monsters in their own ways, Elgar'nan was the worst. Or perhaps it is more honest to say that his were the faults I found most objectionable. You have met him now, heard his voice hammering at the doors of your mind, and you have met me. Can you see how he and I might frustrate one another?
He uses his power to crush any opposition?
Yes. He is far more powerful than I am, and he wields that power like a graceless bludgeon. When I defeat an enemy, it is because I outsmarted them, because I was right. When he does, it is only because he was stronger.
Outsmarting someone and being right aren't exactly the same thing.
Aren't they?
All right. I can see how you and Elgar'nan would hate each other.
He has always been what I most feared becoming. Callous and uncaring, his arrogance unchecked. To have that much power and no one to remind him that he could be wrong.
Well, he had you.
And I suppose I had you.
Last time I got his attention, he got angry enough to come after us with the blighted dragons. Hopefully this baits him into a mistake we can use against him.
Every act of resistance is a thorn in his side. He will break soon. When we first met, I saw you only as a foolishly confident child who disrupted my plans. You were an irritant. I gave you information to oppose Elgar'nan out of necessity, but I expected you to be nothing more than a tool. Seeing you with your team, I was wrong.
I'm impressed you got that out without choking on it.
If I could not admit when I was wrong, I would be no better than Elgar'nan. Your team trusts you, and you listen to them. It is impressive and enviable. It took me centuries to build such a bond during my rebellion, and when I served the Inquisition, I tried to avoid entanglements.
Except for Inquisitor Lavellan.
I said that I resolved to do so, not that I succeeded. She is a good woman. Growing close to her was selfish of me.
Do you regret it?
I live with countless regrets. Some of them I have grown to cherish more than my victories.
Thank you for sharing that. So, what comes next? What are the gods going to do?
Elgar'nan and Gillenane are preparing the dagger they will use for their ritual to pierce the veil. Elgar'nan's power is tied to light and darkness. He will need to perform a ritual during the next eclipse.
That gives us some time to prepare.
It is likely to be your last chance to do so. You must be ready for whatever comes, for this world and for the team that trusts you. I know that you will do everything in your power not to fail them.
I knew that you would find me soon enough. You need the power of a god, the strength that I alone still carry.
The blighted Evanuris will soon break free from their prison. I must make a stronger one that can contain them.
While the prison is important, it is not the only goal you seek.
Why should I not tear down the veil and bring back immortality to all the Elven people? They deserve it.
The Elven people of today do not deserve to see the world they love be torn apart to salve your conscience.
I must fix what I have broken. I am sorry.
As am I, old friend.
Solas killed Mythal? After all that? Is this another memory from a different time?
No. He wore that same outfit in the Inquisition. We knew Solas woke up in this world without most of his power. Now we know how he got it back.
By killing the only other god around and stealing her power.
All that epic magic and godly power. In the end, it comes down to love and murder. Same as always.
Every big mistake Solas made is tied to Mythal. He sacrificed his life as a spirit to join her.
He sacrificed his morals when he created the dagger to stop the Titans.
When the other gods struck her down, he destroyed the Elven Empire to avenge her.
Then he wakes up in this world, where everything's gone but his mistakes. And there she is, alive.
And after all he's done, she sides against him again.
All these mistakes are his fault. And hers too. If she won't help him fix the world, of course he has to kill her.
So, how does everything we know help us now?
He's being honest about fighting the Blight. Whatever happens, he won't risk letting it back out into the world.
Agreed. But he has a plan to escape that prison, and not one we'll like.
He turned on Mythal, the one person he was actually loyal to. There's no way he won't turn on us.
He's a spirit, or was once. He might be able to possess someone, affect minds, all the things spirits do.
He created the Veil. His very nature is tied to it. That will be a source of strength, but also a potential weakness.
Mythal has him all messed up. Anything about her or Elgar'nan is gonna make him angry. Sloppy.
Solas thinks he knows what's best for everyone. Anything he does, he'll do while telling himself he's the hero.
Solas has caused a lot of damage, but he's not like Elgar'nan, trying to wreck the world to rule it. He's trying to repair the damage he caused, and he knows he made mistakes. There might be hope for him.
You don't think he'll turn on us?
No, he's totally gonna turn on us. I mean, after that.
You have witnessed the Protector's tale, Dweller. Almost to its end.
Almost? How can there be more?
When the mighty fall, their echoes cross the ages. An audience is warranted. Speak with your visitor. She awaits you in the crossroads.
How did you get here?
I did tell you I had my ways through Alluvians when I introduced you to the Inquisitor, did I not?
The Alluvians in general, yes, but not the Dreadwolf's crossroads.
I would think you have more pressing questions at the moment. Questions about Solas and Mythal?
Mythal?
The two gods have always been linked, have they not? First, when Mythal bade her companion spirit to abandon the Fade and take on mortal form. Then, when Solas spilled Mythal's mortal blood, that he might absorb her power as his own.
Wait. How do you know exactly what we saw of Solas's past?
Think upon it, Rook. You saw for yourself in the Dreadwolf's memories. When Mythal stood against the gods' manipulations of the Blight, she was betrayed and struck down. Yet she survived and returned ages later to aid the Inquisition in its hour of need. How?
The elven gods had access to magic beyond anything we can imagine.
To be sure, but it matters less what they possessed than what they were. You recall that the first elves were spirits, do you not? Mythal was a spirit turned elven. And when her body was struck down, to spirit, she returned. Her essence sheltered in a willing mortal vessel. Over the centuries, she journeyed from host to host, slowly amassing her former power anew. Until once again, she was struck down, on this occasion, by Solas. He absorbed her power, but not her memories.
Then where did they... Wait. You?
As you say.
Hold on. If you're really Mythal, the elves making bodies out of the Titans, the Blight, Solas and the Veil, that was your fault.
Am I now responsible for the events Mythal set in motion thousands of years before my birth?
You sure don't have any problem claiming her name.
Would you have realized had you not observed Solas's memories? I think not.
What? That was like how Elgar'nan and Gillinan can talk in your head, but...
'Twas Mythal you heard, her echoes. Yet I am not the goddess returned.
What are you, then?
I once feared Mythal would consume me were I to carry her, but 'twas not so. I remain free-willed and mortal. What I now possess is but a spark of Mythal, shadowed memories through which to sift for meaning. As to our admixture, I suspect you have questions.
You would have met Solas in the Inquisition, right?
I did indeed. 'Twas before I possessed Mythal's memories. At the time, I thought Solas a scowling elven apostate whose sole passion was finding arguments. He heard me, in all my ignorance, expound on the histories of the elven people, explaining legends he had witnessed himself.
Bet he loved that.
'Tis not a memory that brings me pride.
Do you have information we can use against Gillenane or Elgar'nan? Or Solas?
The last time Mythal faced Elgar'nan and Gillenane, she was struck down by the very dagger you now carry.
What about Solas?
You may recall he murdered Mythal's former host to claim her godly might as his own. I hoard no untapped magical secrets, Rook. What I do possess, I share freely with you and the Veil Jumpers.
All right. You didn't come out here just to tell me you're Mythal.
I am not Mythal in her entirety, but yes. The Dreadwolf has occasion to visit you in dreams, where he portions out advice. And now, after finding his memories, you have peered into his deepest sorrows. Tell me then, what do you make of Solas?
I should ask you. Mythal knew Solas better than anyone.
I would influence your answer. Or do you mean to discover if I would stand directly against the Dread Wolf, were there a need?
Would you?
I shall aid you in any way, but that, even had I the power. What has passed between Solas and Mythal? I beg you, do not ask this of me again.
Solas has done terrible things. What he did to Varric, what he did to Mythal, what he would have done to the whole world. But it's not because he's just trying to rule the world. He's trying to fix things. He's helping us now.
'Tis true. His intentions were always pure, whatever his actions may have been. 'Tis not malice which made Solas your opponent, but conviction. A belief that only he may halt what he set in motion. Yet Solas was once beloved of Mythal. 'Tis his very loyalty and love for his people that led to the tragedy we now face. You may be in a position to determine how it ends, more so than either of you might realize.
Well, that's not terrifying at all.
You have been thrust into the lives of gods. Fate will have its way, whether or without our permission.
Even more comforting, Morrigan.
If you would shape the outcome of your battle, I've one last secret to share. When Mythal was struck down by the other gods, it was with her own lyrium dagger, the dagger you now carry. Solas recovered it from Elgar'nan, and from it extracted a fragment of Mythal that had lain hidden within its depths. This fragment, a younger sister to the one I carry, if you will, resides here, in the crossroads. I can open the way for you, find her, survive the encounter, and the essence you obtain will aid you in times to come.
Another fragment of Mythal? In addition to the one inside you?
You are aware of what the word fragment means, are you not? One small piece of many, formed when something greater is broken. The first elves were spirits, as you well know, and when a spirit is broken, it may shatter into pieces, each holding part of the original. Among the ancient elves who became known as gods, Dotherman and his brother, Felassan Note, are but one example.
You make it sound like this piece of Mythal is going to attack me.
You know Solas, and have seen Elgar'nan, and memories of Mythal. They are creatures of emotion, as all spirits are. The fragment of Mythal that resides in me lived among mortals for thousands of years. She has grown wiser and more patient. This younger sister has not. She is the essence of Mythal as a god. She is unlikely to listen to polite requests, and though she is but a fragment of the goddess, the battle will test you sorely.
If she's just going to attack us, why tell us about her at all? We have enough enemies already.
A fragment of a god's essence is a powerful thing. It may give you options against Elgar'nan and Gil'Nan, or against the Dreadwolf himself, should he prove as cunning and treacherous as ever.
You would know this aspect of Mythal better than anyone. Could you try talking to her?
I dare say she would attack me on sight.
Spirits can't get along with fragments of each other.
Spirits, certainly. But the aspects of a self-righteous god who have walked different paths for ages? One bears the insult of her betrayal by the Evanuris, and then by Solas, as fresh wounds, insult upon injury. The other once fell in love with an lAuri chieftain and lived happily in a swamp for centuries. Each reminds the other that another path existed, that they could have been wrong, and nothing angers Mythal like being wrong.
Thank you for the information, Morrigan.
There is one more thing, if I may. Something whispered not by myself, but Mythal. The elves have learned many of the glories and horrors of ancient Elgar'nan. Yet your people live in this world now as the old elves never could. Know it as they could not. There is your strength. 'Tis why you shall surpass what came before one day.
Did Mythal see this? Is it a prediction?
A hope. From a mother to her distant children, no less beloved than any before them.
You are Rook. I have seen you and your companions. I never again expected to see my children in the Dreadwolf's crossroads. And you know who I am.
Mythal.
The part of me that survived betrayal by the rest of the Evanuris, if this can be called surviving. Solas. He drew me from the dagger that struck me down, but what is left of me can only survive here. I cannot return to the world, and even the true Fade is denied me. All I can do is watch. Have you come to seek the blessing of your god? Or did you come to ask your god to sacrifice herself to help you defeat the monsters Elgar'nan and Gil'Nan have become?
I came here to ask for your help. The gods have endangered the world, and...
You dare explain to me what they are doing? You are 1,000 years from knowing the proper words.
We saw Solas's memories, his regrets.
You saw the recollection he cultivated like a tree, twisting to catch the sun. You wish for my help? Convince me. Make your case, and I will yield my essence willingly to help you against Elgar'nan and Gil'Nan. Fail, and I shall kill you for wasting my time, or you will kill me and obtain my essence in doing so. A harder-edged, simpler version. It has been centuries since a petitioner stood before me, so why should I help you?
If I don't stop the gods, the whole world will be corrupted by the Blight.
That is why you must succeed, so tell me why I must help you.
We know the truth about the Blight. We know it came from the imprisoned dreams of the Titans after you and Solas defeated them.
And?
Stopping the Blight mattered enough for you to talk with Solas, even after he rebelled against you. It mattered enough for you to stand against the other gods.
And I was struck down for doing so, betrayed by those I had ruled beside for centuries.
You made the difficult choice to protect your home. because it was the right thing to do. Help me do the same.
Not bad, but not enough. Let us speak of something else.
Solas is helping me.
Solas is using you. Besides, why should I esteem the Dreadwolf's approbation? He rebelled against me.
But the two of you stayed close.
Until he killed the tattered fragment of me who hid inside the human swamp witch and wept. He keeps me here, yet has not visited since waking from his slumber. Tell me this. What should I have done when Solas turned against me after all we had been to one another?
Maybe you should have listened when he warned you about staying on as rulers after the war.
Are you saying I was wrong?
You asked me what you should have done. I can't prove my worth by lying to you. Solas didn't want to manifest a physical body or destroy the Titans. He did things he hated because he cared about you. Supporting you and Elgar'nan becoming rulers was the one line he wouldn't cross. If someone who followed you everywhere refused to follow you there, what does that say?
If you wish to prove your worth, you must do better than that. I find you worthy, Rook. I have spent thousands of years watching. I shall miss that. But if what I am can protect the innocent and smite the guilty, this is what remains of me. I give it to you freely. Use it to protect this world with kindness when possible and cunning when necessary.
I will. Thank you. The essence of the Protector.
A lady's favor.
Like a piece of the sun. I've never felt something so alive.
A great prize. But how do we use it?
God knows her moment. At least her essence does. When the time comes, we'll be ready. These meetings can't be good for business. I'm here, Inquisitor. It isn't just Inquisitor, is it? You were someone before that.
Clan Lavellan. We try to be no one you've heard of. Morrigan is holding a perimeter. We're alone. Tell me what Solas did at Elgar'nan's ritual.
Sounds like you already know.
I need to hear it from you.
Elgar'nan raised his archdemon. Solas got us out of there. We saved a lot of people.
You sound grateful.
Why not? He really did help.
It seems so. He's always thinking about where it ends. How many of his names do you know? God of Lies, Dreadwolf, Fen'Harel. They're titles he earned from enemies, followers, and fractured history. He and I shared another name. Vhenan.
Your heart. He meant that much?
Yes, he did. You've spoken to him in your dreams. You felt the power of that mind. His love could burn against me like a bonfire. He seemed so kind, and wise, and sad, and looked at me as if I somehow mattered more than anything around us. For a time, I thought I would have followed anywhere he asked me to.
Did he try to get you to come with him on his quest to tear down the Veil?
No. In fact, he forbade me to join him. He said he didn't want me to see what he would become. But that wasn't quite the truth. He's a terrible liar.
He's the god of lies, Inquisitor.
Tricks and treachery, yes. Lies of the heart? No. He forbade me to join him because I might have changed his mind. And then he left enough clues for us to follow anyway.
Hold on. You think he wanted you to stop him?
His name is Solas. It means pride. Perhaps he couldn't change his mind himself and hoped that someone else could help him. Or maybe I'm the prideful one, imagining his broken heart so that I never have to face my folly. That I loved someone who made such grave mistakes, that I might love him still.
You almost sound like you're ready to join him in that prison in the Fade.
To give up the world for him? No. We've got to save it first. But after? If there were a way? If he felt the same? If I could leave the world behind and just have him? I don't know.
One thing I've learned in this job is that the people I need the most are people who can tell me when I'm wrong.
We all need that sometimes.
It sounds like that's what you were for Solas. If the two of you were better people together and you were happy too?
I was.
This is all hypothetical anyway. He's trapped in the Fade with no way out.
He's surprised us before. But enough about me. Tell me about you and Lucanis.
What? Who? How?
Morrigan has eyes everywhere.
Of course she does.
The Fade's still ripping itself apart!
The dagger! Rook! You must break its contact with Gillenane!
Lucanis? Lucanis!
And so you have your victory. You live. And Gillenane does not. Are you not proud? You finally reached this moment. Or did you think you'd win the day without some painful sacrifice?
That dragon raised Minrathous. Where were you?
No one's retreating.
We'll all die.
Archdemon's attacking the north.
You and your friends stood against the gods. Your courage is laudable.
Solas?
But mortals cannot win this battle. I am sorry it is what must be.
I saved you, Rook. What was the point? You were never up to it.
You're worthless.
Varric never believed you.
You're no leader. You failed us all.
What failure cuts your conscience now, I wonder?
Neve.
Blood on your hands.
Your friend is dead.
Dead and gone.
Your fault.
Regret, like all emotions, is a powerful thing. It can bruise us, break us, or blind us to the truth. Regret is even strong enough to serve as the lock on a prison built to hold gods. But such a prison can hold any captive. Even you. You were never ready to make the sacrifices that leadership requires. So through our connection, I molded you into someone the prison would accept in my place. Your work is done.
Come on, Varric. We didn't come all this way just to talk to him.
He was my friend, Rook. I gotta try to reach him. And if he won't listen to me, then he'll hear from Bianca. You need to listen!
Varric! Varric! Neve!
Rook.
Let's go, this way!
You can't be dead, Varric. You've helped me so much. Told me what to do when I didn't know. We wouldn't have gotten this far without you.
But you did, Rook. You did all of this without me.
Because you died.
Yeah. Sorry about that, kid.
Sorry, Varric.
For what?
For not saving you.
Shit. Didn't you learn anything from this place? I made the choice. To talk to him. To try to reach him. Even knowing the risks. Because he was my friend. My decision, my sacrifice. And you don't get to take that from me.
But...
Every story's got an ending. This one just came a little earlier than I planned.
What happens now? To you?
I'll disappear. Go back to just being a memory.
Right.
Hey, don't get all misty-eyed on me, okay? I had a good run, and I don't regret a second of it.
What about Solas?
You talked to Mythal. You saw the memories. Solas wants to be a hero. That's who he is, deep down. But it's easier for him to play the villain. Because that means he didn't fail. All the damage he's done, the people he's hurt, it becomes a choice. Remind him who he really is. He might just listen.
He seized control of the Archon's palace?
While the Magisterium was in full session, only the Venatori seem to have survived.
How were the Shadow Dragons?
Still fighting, last we heard. But Elgar'nan's blighted the city, and the Venatori have sealed the gates. No one can get in or out.
Even the Minrathous Job went dark. We can't check in with the Shadow Dragons. If it weren't for Solas, they'd already be dead.
Solas?
He got to Minrathous just before the gates were sealed. He saved some civilians and killed some Venatori.
Now, everyone's following Solas, like he's the only one who can save them.
He'll save them from the Blight or die trying. He's not lying about that. Though I doubt anyone rallying to the Dreadwolf's banner knows that he plans to drown the world in demons once Elgar'nan is dead.
He can't hurt Elgar'nan yet. That archdemon makes him invulnerable.
So Solas has to kill it first.
And once that's done, Solas goes for Elgar'nan with the dagger he took from us.
Solas is our first target.
He won't be happy when he sees you've escaped from his trap.
Well, unlike Elgar'nan, we can hurt Solas. And he's got the dagger we need to stop Elgar'nan.
We did attempt to create a dagger to replace the one Solas took.
It looks similar, even feels similar, but it won't cut through enchantments like the real one does.
So it cannot kill Elgar'nan.
Looks real enough.
But it is not. We don't have the right weapon to take down our target, and we lost too much killing Gillenane. We have no idea where Neve is or what Elgar'nan is doing to her.
And Davron and Hassan are...
If Neve were here, she'd tell us the case isn't done. And Davron would already have Hassan in the air. They're not here to finish this. But because of their sacrifice, we are. So let's do it for them. Get a message to anyone who's still out there. Tell them we're gonna stop Elgar'nan, and we need their help to do it. Then fix up your gear and take care of any unfinished business. In the morning, we take back Minrathous. Solas is our first target. Without his dagger, we can't kill Elgar'nan.
Our scouts last spotted him working with the Shadow Dragons in the western section of Hightown.
Okay, we go in through Hightown. Harding, Lucanis, you're with me. We make a run at the gate, get inside, and find Solas. The rest of you get to the Blight Tendril. Once we've got the dagger, we'll meet you there. Take the fight to Elgar'nan.
Asher! Get out of my city! Asher!
Did we win?
You're lucky your head's so damn hard.
Tarquin, Viper, you're alive!
Thanks to Solas. He's been the only thing between us and Elgar'nan.
Stay with them. I'm going to talk to Solas.
You are as surprising as ever. Even I could not have escaped that prison. For you to manage it.
I should end you right here.
I understand your anger. If there had been any other way,
There is no other way with you. It always ends with someone else paying for your mistakes. Me, the Shadow Dragons, Varric. You did something to my mind to make me keep seeing him.
Yes. I was wrong to do so.
You knew Varric was dead the whole time, but you kept pushing me not to see it. Why? How?
I was desperate. Unless I escaped, the world would fall to tyranny and blight. The only tool I had was my tenuous connection to you.
Blood magic.
As I said, I was wrong.
You feeling bad about stabbing me in the back is not my problem right now. I have a city to save and a god to kill.
Agreed. I betrayed you because I believed that only I could save this world. But I have failed, Rook. I have not stopped Elgar'nan. I have not even defeated his archdemon. The victories that have been won since Elgar'nan and Gillenane escaped are yours, not mine. If we are to save this world, we must work together.
You've got to be fucking kidding me.
Do you not believe I want to stop Elgar'nan?
Of course you want to stop him. And as soon as he's gone, you're gonna finish your ritual and drown the world in demons.
If joining me and stopping Elgar'nan requires the Veil to stay in place, then I will pay that price unflinching. I swear by my own foolish pride, by love for friends I've failed and hurt, by everything I ever held as sacred. I will leave the Veil untroubled. It will never come down by my hand. Now, if you will come with me, I can show you what has prevented me from reaching Elgar'nan. And you can tell me your plan. Elgar'nan populates his armies with the cruel and the brutal. No brilliant tacticians, only those he can dominate and those who wish to become like him. But you, Rook, your team is made from the clever, the wise, and the loyal. You honored their strengths to make them yours. And that is why you are going to defeat him. Whatever intelligence Elgar'nan has set to direct the Blight, we are not far from it. Beyond the Blight there, perhaps. Harding, I am sorry.
For what, Solas? Betraying the Inquisitor and breaking her heart? Trying to tear down the Veil, killing Varric? Using blood magic on Rook's mind and then betraying her? Or maybe you're sorry for destroying the Titan's spirits, stripping our dreams from us and creating the Darkspawn.
Yes, I am. An Antivan crow and a spirit of determination?
Spite.
The two of you were bound unwillingly. It is a crime against you both. I may be able to separate you safely.
Spite and I made our own deal. And you hurt Rook. You lie.
A fair point. Do you feel it? The Blight reacts to my presence. There. That must be the source of whatever intelligence guides it. If you can destroy the mind guiding the Blight, we may be able to reach the palace. I can accompany you no further. My presence will only draw the Blight to you.
Neve? What did they do to her?
We are out of time. I will defeat the Archdemon. Once Elgar'nan is mortal, the final blow must be yours. I can think of no one better to wield this.
You need that dagger for your ritual. I'm supposed to believe you just give it to me?
If you do not trust me to uphold my oath, that is all the more reason for the dagger to be out of my hands. Please, Rook. Good luck. When next we meet, let us be standing over Elgar'nan's body!
Alright, Solas takes down the Archdemon. That makes Elgar'nan mortal, then we kill him with the lyrium dagger. First,
we have to get to them.
You can't. That's what I needed to tell you. My connection with Elgar'nan went both ways. I could sense him, his mind, his magic, his life force. He's tied to the Veil. His life is holding the Veil in place.
I felt the Veil weaken when Gillenane fell. I expect that when Solas imprisoned the other gods, he bound them all thus. And now that Elgar'nan is the only one left,
we kill him, and the Veil collapses.
Which is why Solas gave me the dagger. Damn it! He said something about this in that memory of him binding the gods. I thought he was just stealing their magic. I didn't realize he meant it literally. We still have to kill Elgar'nan. So what can we do? Can we tie the Veil to something else to keep it in place?
I doubt any simple substitution would suffice. The Veil was made to be tied to the ancient elven gods.
Then let's tie it to Solas. He's the only elven god left.
Binding him will require drawing his blood with the lyrium dagger.
And I doubt he's going to like the idea.
Cutting him to bind him to the Veil? That's blood magic. We do it if we have to, but only if we have to. What about this?
The dagger we made while you were in the Fade.
Once Elgar'nan is dead, odds are good that Solas will need to do something else to complete his ritual. This dagger looks identical, but it can't go through enchantments like the real thing. So if he tries to use it...
The backlash of such magic would render him helpless.
Unless he notices. You really want to try a bait and switch on the Dreadwolf?
Is there any chance at all, that he would listen to reason?
Speaking from the heart, Inquisitor?
Varric died trying to reason with him.
As did Mythal when Solas took her power.
But we have you, Morrigan. You have Mythal's memories. And we have the essence of the other fragment of Mythal from the Crossroads.
Such power, even fragmented, is not to be taken lightly. Hold it for now. And when the time comes, if you believe the Dreadwolf's heart can be turned from this course, I shall try.
Because of everyone here, and everyone we lost to get here, we've got options for dealing with Solas. For now, let's focus on Elgar'nan. What?
It's fine! There's got to be another way there!
Shit!
while.
Unless he kills the Archdemon, we won't be able to kill Elgar'nan.
Solas knows that as well as we do. He might betray us after, but he'll do whatever it takes to stop Elgar'nan.
Rook!
You made it.
The Blight. Elgar'nan's using the Magisters to control it. Just like he used me. They're using it against Solas. We have to help or he won't last.
How do you know?
I can hear it. I can feel what it wants.
The Blight?
Get to the throne room. I know how to help Solas.
Solas!
I've got this! Go!
The Dread Wolf cannot save you. He cannot even save himself. Now you understand that none may stand against me. Those who try stand alone. You will kneel.
Damn it!
Come now. You did as well as anyone could have, but you cannot deny the truth.
This is my city!
You are mortal, Elgar'nan. Enjoy it while it lasts.
If you will not bow, you will burn.
It is done. The world owes you a debt, both for defeating Elgar'nan and for bringing down the Veil. I am sorry for this final betrayal, but I will do what I can to minimize the damage. When you see the old world restored, please, Rook. I do not wish to fight against you.
I don't want to fight you either. But I don't want to see the world go through even more pain on top of what Elgar'nan has done. Do you?
This world is broken, Rook, because of my mistakes.
You're right. You do need to make up for the damage you've done. But breaking the world again is the wrong way to do it.
Letting the Veil collapse
is what you want. Making amends isn't about what you want. You have a chance right now to save the world. Bind yourself to the Veil and stop it from falling.
I cannot. To stop now would dishonor those I have wronged to come this far.
Even if those you wronged asked you to stop?
Vhenan.
You think you've gone too far to come back? But you're wrong. I am here, walking the Denansheral with you.
I lied. I betrayed you.
I forgive you. All you have to do is stop.
Irabolas, Vhenan. But I cannot. Long before we met, I failed my oldest friend. She died for that failure. If I leave the Veil in place, I am destroying the world she wanted. And I will have... She will have died for nothing.
And whose fault is that, Dread Wolf?
Morrigan.
One appellation among many I wear. I have been advisor to Orlais, Witch of the Wilds, daughter of Flemeth, and once, long ago, an old friend.
Mythal lives on in her. And in this.
Mythal.
I pulled you from the Fade you loved and sent you into war. I used your wisdom as a weapon. And it broke you.
The things that I have done
are not for you alone to bear, my friend. The many wrongs we did together. I release you from my service.
Banal nadas, arlathma Vhenan.
My life force now sustains the Veil. With every breath I take, I will protect the innocent from my past failures. The Titan's dreams are mad from their imprisonment. I cannot kill the Blight, but I can help to soothe its anger. I will go and seek atonement.
But you do not have to go alone.
Arkelas vir banal.
Tel banal arama vir shiral malasa belanaris.
Thank you, Rook.
With Elgar'nan and Gillenane dead, and the Inquisitor finally reunited with her true love, it looked like one of the biggest stories this world had ever seen was finally drawing to a close.